supposed to be here. You and I were supposed to figure this out together. You were the one who went in the fucking street and got his throat slit.
What's up? I'm Ashley, and we're going to be breaking down from Season 3, Episode 10. Let's get into it. Boyd is showing Kenny a map of the town. He's telling him the last place he saw Fatima was in the shack. Kenny said, well, what was she doing out there? Boyd said, huh? You heard him talking about huh. But luckily for him, Ellis comes in and says he thinks Elgen knows where Fatima is. Then we jump to Fatima, where it looks like someone is rubbing their elbows around in her stomach. Ellis tells Kenny and Boyd that Elgen said Fatima is okay and that all this is important, and that he shouldn't be afraid. And the weirdo stayed calm about it too. He was calm. Boyd tells Ellis and Kenny to go to Colony House and don't let Elgen leave. Kenny said, okay, and what are you going to do? Boyd said, just go. Ethan and Jim get home after looking for Fatima when they see Victor come out the house. Victor tells them Tabitha fell. Jim runs in the house, but Ethan surprisingly stays there calm. He doesn't even ask about his mama, and he always got a question. He didn't ask about nothing. He didn't say, how did she fall? Where is she? Is she okay? Nothing like that. Victor tells Ethan he saw the boy in white, but he wasn't very helpful. Then Julie comes outside and tells Ethan, let's go to the diner because for once, she's hungry. She don't never want to eat nothing. Tabitha tells Jim one of the bald-headed kids led them to the cellar. And when they got there, Victor was inside crying about the night his mom left. And when she hugged him, it felt like Miranda was there. It was like she could feel her, and how she took her back to the night she left her children. She tells Jim it was more than a vision. It was like Miranda was there and trying to tell her something. Then Jim goes to the bar to apologize to Jade about how he acted yesterday. And he better, because what's wrong with him? He told Jade, I'm scared, and things are happening to my family that I don't know how to protect them from. But the truth is, I think you might. Oh, so now you want to realize. Boyd goes to the church to get Sarah and tells her he needs her to come up to Colony House with him. And while they're walking there, he tells Sarah that Elgen told Ellis that Fatima and the baby are going to be the reason they all go home. Don't that sound familiar? They were talking to you like that too, huh? Boyd tells her he needs her to talk to him and let him know that if something is talking to him, then they don't have good intentions. Then here comes Donna running out the door. She looks so goofy. She said, hey, what's going on? Alice and Kenny are in there talking about Elgen can't leave. Don't let him leave. What's going on? Boyd tells her he needs her to clear the house. Tabitha is now explaining to Jim and Jade about seeing Miranda and how she almost made it to the tree, but she saw her die. When Jim asked Jade if he's had visions like this, he said no. His is more like seeing something that shouldn't be there, like the Civil War soldiers he saw. Then he starts to explain the law of thermodynamics, how energy can neither be created or destroyed. It can only change from one form to another, and how our thoughts, memories, and souls are made up of energy. And maybe here, that energy lingers. He said it was one of those bald-headed kids that led you to the cellar, right? Well, whatever Miranda showed you, those bald-headed kids wanted you to see. So she told him she saw that bald-headed little girl by Victor's truck. Elgen is on his way out when he gets stopped by Boyd, Sarah, and Donna on the stairs. Boyd asked him, can we talk to you for a minute? And Elgen said yeah. So they go inside this room. Everybody go in there. But Boyd tells Kenny to watch the door. If I'm Kenny, I'ma be mad because I want to see what's going on. Why I gotta watch the door? I can watch the door by standing in front of it inside this room. They have Elgen sit down and they noticed all the supplies he had packed. Boyd asked him, do you know where Fatima is? Elgen says, she told me not to say anything. I just want to help. I don't want to hurt anybody. But you have to understand, this is a good thing. Donna said, Elgen, who are you talking about when you said she? Who is she? He said, I know it sounds crazy, but I think it's an angel. Now, Elgen, you think somebody looking like that is an angel? You think somebody looking like that is an angel? They're all in there trying to get it through Elgen's thick, big head that that's no angel, and he's not helping nobody. He's making everything worse. Boyd tells him Fatima is not pregnant. They did an ultrasound, and nothing was up in there. Elgen's like, yeah, she is pregnant. She is. And the angel explained all this to me. Boyd said, the angel explained this to you? The angel. Then Sarah tries to help and tells him, remember I told you I killed my brother? The voices told me if I killed a little boy, we would all be able to go home. This place doesn't give, it takes. Elgen said, but do you see how this is different? No one is dying. Fatima's going to be okay. Once the baby is born, we all get to go home. Donna said, even if that is true, that's still months away. Elgin said, no, the baby has grown. You should see her belly. Ellis says, that's it, attacks him and grabs him up by the collar. But me, I would have led with my fist. Boyd said, everybody outside! Everybody go! When they get outside the door, Donna's like, do you think it's true what he said about Fatima's belly? About how it's grown? Boyd said, I don't know, Donna. Sarah tells them if Elgin really thinks he's helping, he's not going to tell anybody. So Boyd asked Donna, where do you keep your tools? She said, Boyd. He said, where do you keep your tools? I guess she got a little shook and she told him, in the shed. Before he leaves to the shed, he tells Kenny to watch the door again and to not let Elgin out or let anyone in. Henry asked Victor, how's it going with Jasper? He say anything interesting? Victor tells him he was right and that he's just a doll. Dolls don't talk. Henry apologizes for not being any help, and Victor tells him he has to show him something that's going to make him hate him. Boyd goes to the shed to get the tools when dead-ass Father Cautry pops up. He said, you really gonna do this? Boyd said, I don't got time for you today. Father Cautry said, when Fatima killed Tilly, you didn't even blink. You did everything you could to protect her. You took her out to the shed and everything. And Kenny still don't even know what she did. And you're mad at Elgin because this place got to his head, and now you want to go all medieval times on him. Bit of a double standard, isn't it? You walk around here like some noble sheriff when really you're no different than anybody else. It's protect mine at all costs and forget about everybody else. You're supposed to be better than this. Boyd said, You were supposed to be here with me doing this. We were supposed to figure this out together. But you went out in the street and got your throat cut. You can't judge me. I'm doing my best. Father Cautry tells him if he does this, then this place has won. Boyd tells him if I don't do it, my daughter-in-law dies. Father Cautry said, well, that's why they call it a rock in a hard place, not a rock in a soft pillow. You need to decide who you're going to be from here on out, because what you decide today is who you're always going to be. We get to Tabitha where she picks up this glass with Elgin's blood in it, and she throws it at the wall. And when the glass breaks, she picks up a piece of that glass, and now she's thinking about something. We get to Jade, Tabitha, and Jim in the woods, and Jade starts talking about how both him and Tabitha have seen those bald-headed kids. He said he's seen them laid out on these rocks in the cave, and when he looked up, the roots formed a symbol. That's when Tabitha mentions that Victor said the boy in white said when the kids were on the stones, they poured their hopes into the roots that made the symbol, and then those roots became the tree. Jade goes off. He done had it. He said, okay, so these creepy kids made a tree, and this symbol has been plaguing me the whole time. You could have just told me. I'm tired. I'm tired of this. If you want us to help, you're going to have to do better. So now we're going to sit here. We're just going to sit here. And when you decide you're going to do better, instead of just saying, Aunt Cooey, you know where to find us. What's wrong with y'all? Then there's Randall working out when he hears cicadas in his head again. They getting on his nerves so bad he ripped his bandage off his face. Like that was going to do something. And then he started walking away like he got poop in his pants. He goes inside the clinic and asks Marielle and Christy, where did they put the equipment? Marielle tells him in the supply closet downstairs. So he goes downstairs to the supply closet and takes out the defibrillator. He turns it on and was about to fry his brain off. Marielle had to run in there and knock him down. He's like, I just wanted to stop. I just wanted to stop. Yeah, it was going to stop permanently. R.I.P. Marielle hugs him and tells him it's going to be okay. But no, it won't. Boyd gets back to Colony House with his supplies. When he walks inside, he says, nobody goes upstairs. Nobody. What happens next is on me. Kenny tells him he's a good kid. We should try to talk to him again. Boyd says, we're running out of time. Go downstairs. Please. When Boyd goes inside the room with Elgin, Elgin says, I can't tell you. I can't. Boyd says, I understand you need to do what you need to do, but so do I. Boyd starts to lay out the tools on the table, and when he does, the camera takes a picture all by itself again. Elgin said, see, look, that's how she sends me messages. I think she wants to talk to you. And in the photo is a picture of a house. Victor takes Henry to Eloise and Miranda's grave. He tells him that's where he buried them, and that he thinks this is Eloise because he was only able to find pieces because she was so small.
All I found were pieces.
Victor tells him it's his fault his mom died, and that it was the boy in white who told Christopher about the tree, but he was the one who told her the tree would bring her to the kids. He says he should have died that night too, and you don't have to be my father anymore. Henry tells him, don't you ever say that again, and I'll always be your dad. She was trying to protect you, but it's my job to protect you now. Jade, Jim, and Tabitha are in the truck when Jim says, how do we even know those numbers mean anything? Of course he said that, and they both turn around and look at him like he's stupid. Tabitha tells him, no, Miranda knew those bottles were important. But then Jim starts making sense for the first time in a long time and says, aren't there 12 notes in a scale? My mom used to be a piano teacher and she used to say, music is the universal language. Jade says, Teacup, you're a genius. Me and Tabitha are going to the bar, but you go to your house first and get that violin I kept stealing from Victor. Christy gave Randall something to make him sleep, but Marielle wants to know what they're going to do when he wakes up. Christy then says, look, I tried to be respectful, but Randall just tried to lobotomize himself, and Julie's a mess, so I need you to tell me you're okay. Are you okay? She says, no, I'm not. And I don't think any of us are gonna be. She didn't tell us nothing we didn't already know. We know something wrong with her, but what is it? What's wrong with you, Marielle? Elgin wants to know what was in the picture. And while Boyd ties him to the chair, he says, you want to know what was in the picture, huh? Ha 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 ha. You want to know? I'll tell you what was in the picture. It was a picture of my house, the same house that I just bought that I was going to before I saw that tree. The only thing missing was my boat. And I feel like they didn't put that line in there for nothing. Where's Boyd boat at? Huh? Where's that? Elgin said, you see what this means? She's trying to tell you we're going to go home. All you have to do is wait. Boyd said, we don't have any more time. You took my family. We're not going to wait. We're not going to talk. You're going to tell me where she is, or I'm going to hurt you. And I'm going to keep on hurting you until you tell me. Then, dead-ass Father Cautry pops up in the room. Boyd just stares at him. And when he stares at him, he says, where is she? Where is she? Put your hand on the table. Put your hand on the table. This is your last chance. Then bam, hits his fingers with the hammer. Then Acosta comes in the house and asks if anybody has found Fatima yet when she hears the noise upstairs. And this is when we find out Acosta's first name is Danny. What that mean? I thought there was going to be some kind of big reveal, but her name is only Danny. Maybe that's for next season, I don't know. Danny barges in the room and sees Boyd with the hammer in his hand and about to hit Elgin again. Boyd told her, turn around and walk out the door. Everybody downstairs. Jade and Tabitha are still trying to figure out these numbers and figure out what is a chord and what is a melody. But Jade does actually end up finding out the melody. It goes something like da 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 da. Da da da. Then Jim walks in and says, I don't think this is a good idea. I'm like, shut up, Jim. But not realizing at the time, he was making sense. And we saw that by the end of the episode. Jade goes, what are you talking about? You cracked the code. Jim says, yeah, and the music just randomly popped up in your head. Doesn't that strike you as odd? Are you forgetting about the haunted music box that almost killed everybody? Or the jukeboxes in the diner that just starts playing by themselves? Jay's like, well, what you want us to do? Nothing. We gotta do something. So Tabitha suggests that they don't play the song here, but that they go play it in the woods by the bottle tree. We go back to Fatima and she begins to cut her stomach with the glass that broke. Then Kimono Lady pops up and says, stop, and puts the glass up to her throat. Like, try me if you want to, I'ma kill you. Kimono Lady then tells her, it's coming. And that's when Fatima's water breaks. While at the diner, Julie tells Ethan when they were at the ruins, she didn't just have a dream. She tells him it was like she went somewhere, like she was in a chamber. And when she was inside, she saw herself, Randall, and Marielle tied up to the wall. Ethan said, what were you doing? She said, we were screaming. I think that's where we were when we couldn't wake up. Then she tells him after that, she left the chambers and went to the tunnels, and that's when she heard Mom talking to Victor. And she thinks it was the time when Victor helped her get out the tunnels when the house fell down. She tells him, I think I was actually there, like I somehow went back there that night. Ethan tells her she's a story walker, which is someone who can visit chapters of a story that already happened. She said, if I went back to the ruins, do you think I could do it again? He said, maybe. Why? Julie says, well, if this is real, then this means I can change things. I can save Tin Shin, maybe even Thomas. Ethan said, it doesn't work like that. You can visit the chapters, but you can't change them. No one can change a story once it's been told. No one can change a story. Once it's been told, I'm never going to leave Ethan alone. We get to the kitchen at Colony House where Boyd is telling Acosta, it's not what it looks like. Oh, yeah? It looks like you were torturing that kid. It's not like it's a little kid. He looked like a grown man, and he over there tripping. She's like, I know you want to find Fatima, but there's a right and wrong way to do it. Girl, if you don't shut up, shut up. You just got here. Meanwhile, Sarah is overhearing this whole conversation, so she decides to go in the room with Elgin by herself. She tells him she understands him and that they're kind of similar and that they just want to help people. So maybe the town are looking for people like them, people who want to help. He's like, please, Sarah, tell Boyd to stop. He'll listen to you. Then Sarah gets up and picks up the screwdriver. And I said, uh-oh. She tells him Boyd doesn't understand how far he needs to go to make you tell him. He's a good man, and this place has taken so much from him, and I won't let it take his soul. I've already given it mine. We get back to Boyd telling Acosta, this is not Camden. I'm not debating this with you. You got a problem with it? Take it up with me after Fatima is safe. Get out my face. She said, well, what if I tell everybody what you're doing? And I know Boyd was about to say, are you threatening me? He didn't get to finish his sentence because Elgin started screaming. They all run upstairs, they open the door, and Sarah done took Elgin's eye out with the screwdriver. Sarah is the real MVP. Boy should have had her going there from the beginning to handle Elgin. Now he over there with not only his hand messed up, his eye gone too. So after taking his eye out, Sarah tells them she's in the root cellar. So they all run over there. We get to Jim, Tabitha, and Jade in the woods, and Jade starts playing that song he learned from the numbers in the bottles. Meanwhile, Fatima over there giving birth to something. And you already know Kimono Lady right there. And while she's giving birth, the hatch starts opening by itself. Then we cut to Ellis, Boyd, and Kenny running over there to the cellar. But once they get inside, Fatima done already had that blob, and Kimono Lady takes it down the hatch. So they finally find Fatima. She tells them she took the thing down there. Boyd tells Kenny and Ellis to take Fatima back to the house. I gotta see what this is. So he gets his little lamp and he go down there. While he's down there, Fatima tells Ellis and Kenny she saw what those things that come out at night really are. They sacrificed their children because it promised them that they would live forever. Then we see Boyd in the tunnels, and he sees the monsters circled around, looking at the lady in the kimono and this weird sack. Then the blob starts growing rapidly. It busted out the sack, and it's Smiley. Smiley is now back, and apparently he's now Boyd's grandson. I can't wait for the conversation between Boyd and Smiley. Hi, Granddaddy. You thought you killed me, huh? But look at me now. And I'm thinking, what was the purpose of Kimono Lady? Homegirl was like a midwife. We get back to Jade playing that song. Then all of a sudden, them bald-headed kids come out. But Jim can't see him. He like, what? Somebody here? Huh? The bald-headed girl walks up to Tabitha. And she kneels down. So Tabitha kneels down with her. Bald-headed girl says, Ankui. And once she says this, Tabitha and Jade finally realize them bald-headed kids been saying, remember. Ankui means remember. Why couldn't they just say that? Tabitha starts crying. She's like, no, 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 no. But Jade says, we tried to save them because one of them was, oh God. Tabitha runs off crying. Jim said, what just happened? Jade tells him, we used to sing them lullabies. Jim don't know what he's talking about, so he goes off to find Tabitha. When he finds her, Tabitha's like, no, 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 I can't. Jim's like, you can. Now talk to me. She tells him she knows why both her and Jade can see those bald-headed kids, and now she knows why there's more than one bracelet. Because she kept making them. Jim's like, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand the words that's coming out your mouth. Tabitha says, me and Jade have both been here before. The reason why I felt what Miranda felt is because I was Miranda, and Jade was Christopher. We've come back over and over again because we failed the first time. Jim's like, the first time? She's like, yeah, me and Jade were here at the beginning. We tried to help the kids and set them free because one of them was ours. She was our daughter. Jim can't believe what he's hearing, but Tabitha tells him, I need some time. Give me some time. So Jim starts walking in the woods, and we get this flashback of him in season 1 saying, sometimes I remember what it was like when it wasn't like this, what it was like before. He's now walking in the woods, probably sad knowing that Tabitha and Jade were together in a past life. Then all of a sudden, here comes Julie running. Dad! Dad! And she got on this horrible wig. In the future, Julie, in her horrible wig, tells Jim he needs to run. Get out of here, get to town right now. It's not safe. I think this is where it happens. But Jim is like, whoa, 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 slow down. What happened to your face? Because future Julie in her horrible wig has scratches on her face. We don't know where they came from. We don't know. She in the future. We in the present. She tells him I need to change the story. But Jim isn't listening. He never listens. Then here comes the man in yellow. He says, that was one hell of a song. That Jade sure can play. And he looks so creepy. Jim told Julie to run. And look how he pushed her. The man in yellow says this didn't have to happen, but knowledge comes with a cost. I did try to warn you. I don't know why Jim decided he wanted to fight this old man, but he picked up a stick and he started swinging it. But the stick was no match for old man in yellow. He threw Jim up against the RV and said, your wife shouldn't have dug that hole, Jim. Then snatched his throat out. Jim don't got no throat no more. His throat gone. And all he had to do was listen to Julie. Didn't just last week Jim said he was going to start listening? What happened? That's what he get. Now he over there with no throat. And this is what I meant when I said Jim is finally making some sense. When he told Jim he doesn't think it's a good idea that he found out the melody. This place don't like stuff like that. And just like the man in yellow said, knowledge comes with a cost. The town didn't want them to figure out that melody, so the cost is somebody gotta die, and it's Jim. R.I.P. I knew this day was coming soon, and what a coincidence. You died right there by the RV, the same RV you came into the town in. Also, when the man in yellow told Jim, I tried to warn you, I think he was talking about the radio. He did tell Jim that his wife needs to stop digging that hole. And just now, before he killed him, he told him, your wife never should have dug that hole. So I think that was him warning him all the way in season 1. Which only means Tabitha was close to something when she dug that hole. And the town didn't like that. So the punishment was the whole house collapsing. But y'all let me know, are you going to miss Jim? And I may do a few more theory videos in the upcoming weeks. So y'all just let me know how you feel about that. And let me know your thoughts on this season finale down in the comments so we can talk about it. And if you haven't already and want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.